So, good evening. It's Friday night, and we're just coming to the end of October, and it's been one of the most eventful Octobers of my 44 years on the planet. Over the last couple of months, I've been watching the weather, how worse it's been getting. But this year, 2016, I have to say, I've never seen anything like it. For a long time, I always used to look up at the sky and say, it's amazing how misty it is. And then sometimes we wake up in the morning and then we switch on the radio and we're being told that it's a foggy day. And after so many years of being told the weather by the same people, if you noticed, on the same television stations at the same time, every day, every night, we're being hypnotised into thinking that that's the way it is. Now, I'm decided to stand up and say something about it because I don't think it's the way it is at all. Years ago, unfortunately, it was the way it is because that's all we could rely on was the television or the newspaper or maybe the radio. Now we've got this thing called a smart device. And the good thing about being a smart device is it's very, 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 very smart. And it's a little bit smarter than the newspaper. And it's a little bit smarter than the television stations that we watch the same news on. It's a little bit smarter than the standard weather forecast that's being fed to us on a daily basis. And, you know, when they decide now to show us a infrared or X-ray photograph of Europe from space, that is a big, massive, big blanket of white crap over Ireland that we're being told that it's it's just a cloudy day. So I thought that up to a couple of weeks ago, and it's taken me 44 years to realise that if you take your head out of the rubbish that you're watching on the television and all the social media crap that you have to deal with on a daily basis, and you take your head out of the smart device and the little things that's in your face called your eyes, if you open them up, believe it or not, take your smart device actually and hold it up, to the sun about 4 o'clock in the evening time, or to the clouds, the certain parts of the new stars that's in the sky that we don't have a clue about because we're not astronomers, so we wouldn't have a clue. Either would I. I don't have a clue either. I'm not part of any political party. I couldn't give a crap about the government, to tell you the truth. But what I do give a crap about is my 7-year-old daughter that, like all the other people around the world that have to look after their daughters and their sons and, you know, get up and work their backsides off every day, our choice, obviously, or live off the state. So I'm not one of the spongers that sits around because I'm healthy, thank God, and I can actually, if there is a God, I do thank him or thank somebody. So I get up every day and I go to work and I bring home the money and I try and pay the bills. But it was only in late July when I was actually out the back, early in the morning. I went out the back and it was a lovely bluish morning, blue sky, no clouds. And then I heard this plane coming over the house as normal. Now, what was funny about it was like the size of a jumbo jet flying across Dublin, coming across the Dublin mountains. Then you notice that there's 4 jet engines, 2 on both sides on the wings, and it's pumping out 4 lines just off the aviation fuel, which is fair enough, right? But when I got to a point over the Dublin mountains where this big, massive new line comes out of another pipe somewhere on the plane, because there was 4 continuous, and every so often they just disappeared like vapor trails. They just disappeared. Then there was this big 5th one that switched on and went straight over where the sun was coming up and made this big, massive, long line. I don't know, maybe 20 miles, 30 miles, I don't know. And then it stopped. And I thought nothing of it. But the next plane that came across was exactly coming in the same direction. And when I got to the same point, it switched on. So there was another engine that was switched on, or something was switched on, and then this line was made as well. So now you've two lines. And then another plane came across. So I flew in and opened up my smart device, because it's so smart. I could actually go in and type in one of the apps that I have on the phone called Flight Radar Pro for $2. Thanks, America. $2. And I tapped in and I tapped on the plane, and it showed me that the last three planes were cargo planes. I can't mention the company, but they're well known on if you're buying stuff on the internet. They're a big carrier. There's probably two of the biggest companies in the world. This one actually has 3 letters. That's the clue. 3 letters in the name. So you can work that out yourself. I won't obviously say the name for legal reasons. And 3 planes flew over. 2 going to the Midlands airport, small airport, which is funny. And then 1 was going to Paris. So of course, all of a sudden, I took out my camera phone and started recording. And it was amazing to see the 4 lines connect into this big, massive, massive cloud of white. And then it started drifting. And where the sun was coming up, there was a blanket of white for most of the day as the planes were coming over. So of course I rang Aviation Ireland and asked them. Of course they didn't want to know, and they told me to ring up the meteorology company over on the north side of Dublin, and they didn't want to know. And the minute I started speaking about this, one of the guys that I was speaking to started getting snotty on the phone. So I have his call recorded, which was great, because I'm trying to explain to him that from a layman that hasn't got a clue, but has eyes, that I'm watching this with my eyes, and I actually recorded it. And I brought my wife out and I showed my daughter. And I said, Daddy, look at that. Right, now this stuff that blocks out the sun and stays up there all day is not vapour trails or fumes from the exhaust. Because I'm in town, we all drive cars. We know what fumes are like. Fumes come out the back of the car, they go up in the air. They don't make this big, massive, long line where people have to cover their faces. It goes up in the air. It goes up into the environment. Right? Them planes aren't flying in space where there's no movement. So them lines will stay there. Technically the wind should be blowing that, but it doesn't. After about an hour, you've got the big, massive cloud now that's floating over Dublin City. So to the ordinary man that comes out of his house and looks up, he sees mist. That's not mist. That came from the planes, because I recorded it. So I rang aviation. They didn't want to know. Meteorology didn't want to know. Then I rang the cargo company in San Francisco. And I asked the girl, I said to her, can you tell me what they're spraying out of them planes? Because it's not right wherever it is. And I'd be at the airport on a regular basis, so I know what the smell of aviation fuel is from going in and out the arrivals hall in Dublin Airport. And there was a couple of days where it actually rained in August, and I actually could smell it. Now my house is 20 miles away from the airport. I could actually smell it in the air. So if I can smell it in the air, I'm breathing it in, right? And when I started getting sick and coughing, and I never cough, the last couple of days I've had some sort of a flu, and I'm coughing now and again. Like, you know, this little dry cough that, you know, it's like a smoker's cough, you know what I mean? So, you know, this company didn't want to know, you know, they didn't want to know. It just pissed me off. They didn't want to know because I've recorded them, you know, I took screenshots of the phone, you know, I actually have the evidence there. I know what height they were when they were spraying it. I've watched other planes coming over that didn't spray, that were on the same 33,000 feet, right? So there's no point in saying that the air, it was something in the air. It wasn't nothing in the air. right? It came out the back of them planes. They constantly sprayed it. As the sun was coming up during the day, you couldn't actually make out the video footage because of this mist, right? This mist. So, you know, now, I think, being honest with you, I think we're into a serious stage of life at the moment. The same way as people were worried about Hitler starting the war. Like, I personally think we're on the verge of that again. And I think we're only a couple of weeks away from it. Because there's things happening that we're not being told about. And being honest with you, I'm starting to join the dots and I'm trying to work it out. Am I actually going mad? Or, you know, have I got 10 fingers or have I got 11? Now, that's the best way of summing the whole thing up, that the television, the media, the social media, everything that we're sort of playing with, kids getting, I know 9 and 10-year-olds that are getting stressed out because they left their mobile phone charger at home. You know, I have a 7-year-old that's not happy with the iPad, that it's not quick enough, she's getting bored with it. So, you know, things are happening too quickly, and it's like we're being spoon-fed. the alien story, we're being spoon-fed. You know, let's be honest about it. I'm using a camcorder the last couple of days, an old camcorder, right, with a hard disk recorder on it. It was one of the first. But what I can do is I can zoom in, and it has an option on the camcorder. I can zoom in. I can actually see what's going on that I can't see with my eyes. And being honest with you, folks, it's amazing. It's amazing because we can't actually see it. And there's things happening. There's things happening. Like, people seem to forget that we're flying through space. Like, we're not just stuck on an island. The world didn't just sit there, you know, up on a shelf and it doesn't move. You know, we're flying through space, seemingly, you know, which is hard to believe that, you know, tonight, if I walk out of my house at 11 o'clock, right, I look up to the right hand side and I can actually see the plough. You know, I can look up at certain star constellations with the iPad. You know, I can actually switch on Star View and shine it up, see exactly what the name of the star is in real time. But it's funny because there's been a star that's been coming up that I've been getting on my phone that's not actually there. And it's in between the Earth and the Sun at the moment, right? And there's a guy in England called Matthew Rogers. He's been documenting it for the last 70 days.